Hello, welcome to the channel. As always, it's your favourite Scotsman here again to share a wealth of wisdom and a hearty dose of reality. Retirement is often hailed as the golden phase of life, but over the years of working with clients, I can tell you that that's not always the case. Regrets are far too common. In today's video, I'll be sharing 5 things you wish you knew before retiring so you can create the retirement of your dreams. So whether you're sipping on your coffee or enjoying a wee dram of whisky, buckle up and let's dive right in. The first thing you want to know is a common regret among retirees, and that is, I wish we travelled more while we could. Retirement is often seen as the holy grail. You sacrifice, you defer, you put trips off in favour of, we'll do that when we retire, and you contribute to your RRSP instead. I'm not saying for a second that you should just stop all contributions to your RRSP, but like all things in life, there has to be a balance. You don't know what the future has in store. Your health may mean that you might not make it to retirement, and if you're lucky enough to do so, you may not have the same energy as you used to. Before you know it, all those years you could have been travelling have passed you by. So, what a lot of people wish they had done instead is slowed down on those RRSP contributions and taken that trip to Hawaii with the family while they were still working, instead of just putting everything off to some arbitrary date in the future. Practice living today. Another point to make is that for a lot of people, the years leading up to retirement are peak earning years. Use those years. Do some of the things you want to do. Chances are your income is going to be lower in retirement, and you'll find other excuses not to take those trips you always wanted to. Okay, next up on the list for today are people who wish they had something to retire to. Unfortunately, this is all too common. We paint retirement as an idealistic future, and it can be for a lot of people. But you have to know what you're going to do with yourself and how you're going to spend your time. Otherwise, you might end up with feelings of depression when you realise this whole retirement game is not what it was cracked up to be. You may be especially vulnerable to this if you enjoy routine, let work consume you, and consider it your sole occupation. So, you've got to have a plan. After all, there's only so much golf you can play. Understand and envision what retirement will look like, whether that's spending time with family, learning a new language, travelling around in an RV, or volunteering somewhere close to your heart. Believe that your greatest contribution is still ahead of you. What do you feel passionate about doing? What brings you joy? How can you pass on some of the skills and talents that you've acquired over the years? Ask yourself these questions so you can understand what an ideal retirement will look like and know exactly what you're retiring into. A very quick break here. If you're enjoying today's video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We would appreciate it, and you don't get to miss another video. Okay, back to what you came for. Next on the list for today is, I wish I had more friends. This goes back to the whole work thing. You know, when you're working, you generally have a community of co-workers who you interact with on a daily basis. We are social beings, and social connection is important. Even if you don't like your co-workers, those daily interactions can be underestimated. Leaving work can eliminate this for some people. In a world of deadlines, getting that project out at work, getting the kids to their after-school activities, or just simply making sure that the bills are paid on time, friendships tend to fall by the wayside as they're not as urgent and don't require immediate attention. Put the work in to maintain relationships inside and outside of work. By doing so, there's a good chance you will lead a retirement with much more purpose and meaning. It's easier to smile in the presence of others, after all. The fourth regret we're going to cover today is a big one for a lot of people. I wish I hadn't bought that house. So often when we're working, there's always a bigger goal and the next thing we want to do. And for a lot of people, that's a great big house. Now, a great big house can be amazing, especially if you're an entertainer or have a growing family. But sometimes, in retirement, it can be a lot of work. Most people want to minimise the responsibilities they don't necessarily enjoy. And the bigger the house, the bigger the laundry list. On top of that, having a lot of your net worth tied up can mean less cash flow available to do all the other things you want to do in retirement. Some of the most successful retirements we have seen have been when our clients keep things simple and keep the responsibilities light, which frees them up to do the things they want to do instead of having to tend to the massive yard and sweep the royal chimney. Finally, regret number 5. I wish I spoke with my partner about retirement. Retirement's a major goal for most people. And when they become excited about it, they assume that their partner will feel the same way. But that's not always the case. Maybe one spouse wants to spend months on the road travelling, whereas the other spouse would rather be closer to family. Senior divorce rates are climbing. Why? spouses are not on the same page about retirement and what they want and expect from each other, among other reasons, of course. Take time out of your busy life to talk to your spouse about this. How do they want to spend their days? What is it that they want to do? What excites them? You don't have to do everything together. And I would encourage you to have separate interests. But just make sure the expectations are clear so you can come up with a plan that will work for both of you. As you embark on the journey towards retirement, remember these 5 crucial pieces of advice to ensure a fulfilling and enriching golden phase of life. First and foremost, sometimes it's important to prioritise experiences over retirement contributions. Don't delay your dreams of travel and exploration, for health and circumstances may change unexpectedly. Strike a balance between saving for the future and embracing the present. Secondly, envision your retirement not as an endpoint, but as a new beginning. Plan for meaningful activities and hobbies that will give your days purpose and joy. Think beyond the golf course and consider what truly ignites your passion. Maintaining friendships and social connections is the third cornerstone. While work relationships might fade away, invest effort in nurturing both old and new connections. The company you keep will increase the richness of your retirement years. The fourth lesson is to reevaluate your housing choices. Big house might seem appealing, but the responsibilities it brings can overshadow your freedom and financial flexibility. Opt for a simpler living situation that allows you to focus on the things that truly matter. Lastly, open communication with your partner is essential. Align your retirement visions and goals to avoid any misunderstandings down the road. While pursuing separate interests can be healthy, a shared understanding will ensure harmony and fulfilment in your retired life together. By heeding these 5 insights, you'll be better equipped to shape a retirement that's a true reflection of your desires, values and aspirations. So, as you sip your coffee and enjoy a wee dram of whisky, remember to embrace each day, plan thoughtfully and embark on this new chapter with excitement and purpose. If you enjoyed today's video, then please do give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It only takes a second. Thank you for joining me, and here's to creating the retirement of your dreams. Until next time, don't forget, a good financial plan understands your goals, but a great one knows the motivations behind them.